YouTube, what is good? Welcome back to another video, man. Today we're going to be going over the best settings for college football 27. Now, before we get into anything, you guys are probably like, who is this guy? Why should I listen to anything he says? I've won 12 national championships in college football ultimate team. These, in my opinion, these settings can be translated to all game modes, no matter what you're playing, whether it's dynasty, whether you're playing online. But mainly, again, I mainly play online, so I'm going to have my settings be more focused to beating non-CPU players. But these definitely can be effective depending on, you know, what they are and just understanding. That's basically what this video is going to be. It's just me trying to help you guys understand the thought process behind why I pick these settings and things of that nature. If you do find this video to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe and share with a friend. You never know, your friend might be struggling, or don't, because you're trying to beat them. Don't share it with them. Regardless, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Now, I think the most important, or one of the most important things, is actually going to be the coin toss. It's going to be over here in the game options when you go to the settings on the main menu. But the reason why you pick coin toss first choice as kick and with win, think about it from a logical standpoint when it comes to football, right? We want to kick the ball. If we win the coin toss, we want to control our destiny. We want our opponent to get the ball first, because not only that, if we stop them on their first drive, they could possibly quit, so it could lead to quicker games. But also, if you stop them on that first drive, you have a built-in stop at halftime as well. So even if you don't stop them, you get ball first out of half, so you can dictate that second half and you can really control that game, even if you don't get a stop. But it's going to make that those stops that you get in the first half even that much more important. Now, of course, with second choice, again, this is just think about it logically, right? You want to kick with the wind. If you want to kick the ball as far as you can, you want to kick it with the wind. If there's wind blowing towards you, it's going to not kick the ball with the wind, which means the ball's going to go not as far. People are going to have more opportunity to take kick returns back, give up more fluke touchdowns. You don't want to give your opponent more opportunities to potentially score without having to drive the ball down the field. That's basically the thought process behind this one. Now, for me personally, for the kicking, I do tap and hold. That's just what makes sense to me. But again, this one just really comes down to preference, whichever one you prefer. I just do tap and hold. Now, the next thing you're going to scroll down to is going to be the passing mechanics. This is completely up to you. I'm going to be honest. I know some people like revamped, but I think it really becomes down to revamp and placement and accuracy. If you really want to take your passing game to the next level, I think you should be using placement and accuracy, but there's nothing wrong with revamp, right? What placement and accuracy does is basically it just allows you to be able to throw the ball where you want it to. Now, on top of that, you also have pass lead increase. You know, you can, there's basically like this like reticle, there's this circle on the screen where you can basically determine where you want to throw that. If you want to have the flexibility to be able to throw outside of that and guide your receivers even further, you can turn this on. But for me personally, the play style that I like, I personally turn this off. I think if you are going to use it, the most you should put it on is small. When it comes to reticle speed, again, this is going to be completely onto you guys. There's a bar above the player. You guys know you got to time the throw. You also have the time to catch and everything like that. We'll get into that later. But timing the throw is how you get those blue accuracy throws, those green accuracy throws, to make those throws much more accurate. Again, I personally run it on 5 out of 20, but I've seen people run it all the way up to 20 out of 20. I've seen people run it as low as 30 out of 20. But it's completely up to you. Go in practice mode, try it out, and everything like that. Another thing to mention for this, though, is definitely make sure you come to this setting before you play a game, because a lot of times when you first log onto the game, it will reset your setting on this one. Like the last time I checked, mine was on 1. You don't want it on 1. I think 1 is way too slow. But again, just make sure you always come to this menu to make sure it's on that. And hopefully, you know, EA patches this and they'll be able to fix this to where you don't have to update it every time you log on the game. Now, of course, it kind of goes without being said, in order to see the reticle and the meter, you want to have this on. Just leave it on user only. This is going to always have it on, but I'm pretty sure it's going to show up online anyway. But just in case, have it on user only. Now, again, this is another thing that is preference. I think everybody should be using time-based catching. It is really, really good. It's completely up to you what you want to do, but these are my recommendations on it. For offense, I have it on 5 yards or anything deeper than that. The reason why is because I want to be able to control those catches further down the field. I feel like I don't really need to worry about that if it's in the flats or if it's like a drag or something like that. I don't really want to really have to worry about those types of throws, and that's why I have it on 5 yards or further, because again, it's going to give you a little bit more time to react, to be able to time that properly. That's kind of the thought process behind that one. For defense, same sort of thing. I feel like it's a lot harder because you don't know where the ball's going initially as when you're throwing on offense, right? So that's why I have it on 10. Again, completely up to you guys. You guys could go all the way down to 5 or 0, but for me personally, I think it's on 10. Maybe it's just because I'm a little bit older, but just the way I like to play. Most of the time, if my opponent, if I have the opportunity for a pick, it's going to be that 10-yard distance. So that's why I put it on there. But again, I could definitely see people running it on 5 as well. I just recommend 10. Now let's go over here to gameplay helpers. Personally, you should definitely turn on this defensive ball hawk. You definitely should have this on. Now, defensive heat seeker assist, I could see this being on or off. Again, it's completely up to you guys. But for me, I turn it off. It's going to lead to more tackles being broken or just more tackles not being successful. But I'd rather it be on me rather than the game slowing my player down and potentially having him run around me because my player's slowing down, right? So I have this off. I want to have full control over my player at all times. I don't want them to slow my player down, so that's why I have it off. You definitely can turn this on, but if you are going to turn it on, I would say turn it on to 200% so that you know, hey, if I dive, it's going to take me to the thing. It's going to take me to the player. It's just the problem is it's going to slow you down. So there is sort of a trade-off there. Just understand what that means. The next setting we're going to talk about is switch stick delay. Now, this is a setting that I think everybody should be switch sticking. If you don't want to, get with the times, in my opinion. But if you're going to do switch stick delay, you should either have it on none or slight. It's completely up to you. I personally do it on slight because there are times where, my opponent snaps the ball if I'm in the middle of doing an adjustment. I don't want to switch stick immediately. I want to kind of be able to take in what my opponent is doing and then switch stick. I don't want to switch stick immediately and then move one of my players out of position, giving up easy touchdowns. That's just what I like to do. That's pretty much how that goes. Now, the next setting, turn off this defensive switch assist. This is another thing where it's going to slow your player down when you do switch stick or when you do switch onto a player. Turn this off. You don't need this on. It's really not necessary in my opinion. And then I like to have my control player on just so that I know whatever player that I am controlling, I can be able to see pre-snap what their assignment is, so that way I know what I need to be doing when the offense snaps the ball. Now, that's going to be it for game options. So the next video, we're going to go over coach adjustments. I think there's a lot more to go on in this specific thing. We're only going to do it specifically for gameplay options in this video. Again, if you guys want to see coach adjustments, again, I've won 12 national championships in cut. If you guys want to know my coach settings, I'm kind of already showing you some of them, but we'll go over them and explain them in a separate video. If you guys find this to be helpful, if you guys run this up, I will definitely drop the coaching adjustments pretty soon after this video. Just make sure you guys run this one up. If you guys did find this video to be helpful, if you have any more questions, again, I will be answering all of those in the comment section. Again, I appreciate y'all for all the love, and we will catch y'all boys in the next video, and hopefully it's going to be the coaching adjustments video. We will catch y'all. Again, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all in the next video, boys. Peace.